Stand with me, just for a moment, in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes and notice a simple, startling truth. The world you meet today will, in large measure, return to you the image you send out. Life is a faithful echo. It reflects the tone of your voice, the tilt of your thoughts, the quiet posture of your spirit. If you approach it with expectancy, it brings you opportunities to match. Approach it with resentment, and it obliges with obstacles. This is not mysticism. It is the oldest law in human affairs. Cause and effect, played out through attitude. We do not beg the mirror for a smile. We smile first. We do not plead for warmth from the fireplace. We place the wood. We strike the match, and then we sit by the heat we ourselves have kindled. If you desire a different life, do not wrestle with the glass. Change the expression of the one who stands before it. Let us call this the mirror effect. The world reflects what we consistently project. Your attitude is the signal you broadcast. Your results are the reception. Tune a radio to static, and you will hear static, no matter how loudly you turn the dial. Tune it carefully to a clear frequency, and the music appears that was there all along. In the same way, your mind is an exquisite receiver and transmitter. When you habitually send out courage, courtesy, and curiosity, you begin to recognize doors that were previously invisible. When you send out fear, cynicism, and complaint, the very same street seems hostile. We become, in time, the living sum of what we think about and the manner in which we think it. Not by accident, by design. The mind is the workshop, attitude the foreman, and results the finished goods. Consider difficulties. They come to the prudent and the unprepared alike. The difference is not the storm, it is the set of the sails. One person treats a problem as a verdict and sits down. Another treats it as an instruction and stands up. The first asks, "Why me?" and is answered by silence. The second asks, "What now?" and is answered by opportunity. The environment does not decide, it only suggests. You decide. The day may begin with rain, you can be the umbrella. A colleague may be curt, you can be composed. Money may be tight, you can be resourceful. The attitude you bring to the unavoidable is the alchemy that makes it valuable. And as you act, the world answers in kind. The mirror brightens, the echo changes, the horizon comes closer. How shall we practice this? Begin with a quiet morning minute in front of that mirror. Ask 3 simple questions. First, what am I sending out today? Name it confidence, patience, gratitude. Second, what single result matters most? Write it on a small card, clear, specific, and carry it. Third, how would the person who has already achieved it behave this morning? Walk as that person walks. Speak as that person speaks. Work as that person works. Through the day, keep a brief ledger of gratitude. 5 lines will do. Each entry is kindling for your inner fire. In your conversations, practice the attitude of service, listen fully, answer plainly, leave people encouraged. This is not pretense, it is rehearsal for reality. We act as if, and soon we act as we are. Guard the gates of the mind. Your attitude is shaped by the materials you allow inside. Choose your companions with care. Spend more time with builders than with wreckers. Regulate your information diet. Reduce the shrill and the trivial. Increase the thoughtful and the timeless. Replace complaint with a useful question. What is within my control right now? Replace envy with action. What small step can I take before noon? Replace hurry with priority. What is the one task that moves the needle? Speak the language of opportunity. Calm, exact, forward-looking. Practice the quiet courtesies that oil the machinery of daily life. Arrive a little early, keep your word, write the note of thanks. The mirror notices. So do people, and people, not abstractions, open most of the doors you will walk through. Now, take the 30-day test. For the next 30 days, project the attitude you wish life to reflect, and do it without exception. Each morning, set your intention. Each afternoon, correct your course. Each evening, review your ledger and ask, what did my attitude return to me today? You will discover something remarkable. Opportunities you once called luck are simply invitations you could finally see. Problems that felt permanent become puzzles with solutions. The same streets, the same work, the same people. Yet a change experience, because you have changed. Stand again before the mirror. Look steadily. The person looking back is both the cause and soon enough, the effect. Change your attitude, and you begin, quietly, certainly, to transform your life. Before the day begins in earnest, try a quiet experiment. Lift your gaze to any reflective surface. Your phone screen, a window pane, a polished spoon. And observe what looks back, not a stranger, but the generator of everything you will experience. The face is a symbol, the engine sits just behind it. What you send out from that engine, your habitual tone, your assumptions, your willingness to serve, returns to you multiplied. This is the ordinary miracle of cause and effect operating through attitude. You do not negotiate with the glass to change the image. You change the expression you bring to it, and the image changes at once. Most people work hard on tasks and little on stance. Yet stance is the master switch. It colors every perception before the facts are fully seen. Two people enter the same office. One searches for what is wrong and finds it. The other searches for what is useful and finds that. The office has not changed, the finder has. Attitude assigns meaning, and meaning directs action. Decide that a challenge is a verdict, and you will retire from the field. Decide it is an instruction, and you will rise to meet it. In each case, the day reflects your decision. Make this practical. Take responsibility for the signal you broadcast. No one owes you enthusiasm, bring your own. No one can hand you resilience. Practice it until it becomes default. Before you open an email or enter a room, ask, what am I sending out? Name it truthfully. Am I sending irritation or curiosity? Indifference or interest? People cannot read your mind, but they can feel your temperature. They judge your tone, your timing, your follow-through. The apparent world often mirrors your internal setting. Change the setting and the scene seems to change. Consider the fireplace. You may sit before cold bricks and demand warmth, but you will shiver until you place kindling and strike a match. Life is the same. Put in preparation, patience, and respect, and the heat arrives. The farmer does not scold the field for last year's weather. The farmer prepares soil, plants seed, and trusts the process. Attitude is the seed you plant in every interaction. Plant suspicion and you harvest distance. Plant gratitude and you harvest help. Plant patience and you harvest progress. Education makes this workable. Train attention as an athlete trains a muscle. Spend the first minutes of the morning setting intention on paper. 1. Clear outcome for the day. Phrased in the present tense. Specific and measurable. Carry it where you can touch it. When distractions arrive, read the sentence again. Ask which task moves it forward, do that task first. Keep a small ledger at night, where your attitude helped, where it hindered, what you will practice tomorrow. The ledger is a mirror with a memory. It teaches faster than opinion. Guard your inputs. The mind is porous. Whatever you allow inside will tint your outlook. Choose companions who build rather than erode. Choose information that informs rather than inflames. Replace the reflex of complaint with the skill of suggestion. Here is what we can do next. Replace haste with ordered. First this, then that. Replace vague worry with a concrete plan. If X happens, I will do Y. Small disciplines, repeated quietly, change posture at the root. Notice how speech steers attitude. Words are tiny pilots. Choose those that point forward. Let's find the next step. Here's what we can control. Thank you for the effort. Accuracy beats sarcasm. Courtesy beats noise. Sequence beats hurry. Speak to people as the capable partners they can be, and watch them rise to meet the description. In time, these verbal choices become a habit, and the habit becomes a climate in which good work breathes more easily. Judge the experiment by the quality of your encounters. Did you leave people clearer, calmer, capable? Did your presence reduce friction or add to it? When results please you, continue. When they do not, adjust the engine, not the glass. You need not wait for the world to become kinder or saner before you act. Become kinder and saner yourself, and the world around you will begin to answer in kind. There is a signal running through your day, invisible yet unmistakable. It is carried in the lift of your voice, the steadiness of your eye, the patience in your replies. That signal is your attitude, and like a broadcast tower, you send it constantly. What you receive depends on how you tune and what you transmit. Turn the dial toward doubt, and you will harvest interference. Turn it toward purpose, and, as if by arrangement, conversations clear, options appear, and the same streets feel newly navigable. Think of the mind as both transmitter and receiver. It broadcasts in the language of expectation, and it recognizes the echoes that match. When you expect cooperation, you listen differently, ask better questions, and notice small openings others miss. When you expect rejection, you brace, tighten, and overlook practical paths that were present all along. The world did not alter, the filter did. Education begins when we accept that tuning the filter is a daily responsibility, not a rare ceremony saved for emergencies. Here is a practice that works. Before a meeting or a call, pause for 10 seconds and decide your frequency in one sentence. Say it quietly, "Today I transmit clarity and respect." Then choose a single behavior that proves it. I will summarize agreements at the end. This alignment between message and proof turns attitude into action. It is not enough to feel positive. The signal becomes real when behavior carries it. Across a week of consistent proof, you will notice that others begin to anticipate your tone, and their anticipation greases the rails of collaboration. Guard against static. Static is created by hurry, by scattered inputs, by conversations that burn light and produce little heat. Reduce it with orderly preparation and clean boundaries. Plan the first hour of your day on paper. Set 3 priorities that win the day if nothing else happens. Close stray tabs, silence unneeded alerts, and give your next task the courtesy of full attention. Clean signal out, clean signal in. Measure your broadcast with feedback, not fantasy. Ask a colleague to tell you what they hear in your presence. Do you sound pressed or prepared? Distant or available? Critical or constructive? Listen without defense and write down their words. Corrections made at the source travel far. A small shift in tone at 9 in the morning can alter the whole map of outcomes by 5 in the afternoon. When setbacks arrive, keep transmitting direction. A pilot flying through weather does not argue with the clouds. The instruments are checked, the heading is confirmed, and power is kept steady. Name the facts, restate the aim, and choose the next controllable step. This habit trains the nervous system to associate difficulty with movement rather than paralysis. Momentum is a frequency. Once established, it carries you through pockets of resistance that used to feel impassable. Fill your receiver with high-quality material. Read a few pages of enduring thought each day. Study a craft you admire. Tune your ear to examples of courage and civility. The mind collects patterns. The most repeated become defaults. If you repeat the patterns of accuracy, decency, and focus, they will play automatically when stress compresses your options. Finally, test your tuning with a simple daily score. On a card, draw 2 columns labeled Signal and Result. Under Signal, write the attitudes you sent: patience with a customer, firmness with a deadline, cheerfulness in traffic. Under Result, record what returned: a referral, a clear no that saved time, a calmer commute. Over several days, the connection becomes impossible to ignore. You will stop waiting for conditions to brighten before you improve the broadcast. You will improve the broadcast and watch conditions follow. Treat each conversation as a station you can tune. Enter with a clear intention, carry yourself with quiet confidence, and close with precise next steps. Keep notes on what tone opened doors and what tone shut them. Replace habitual sarcasm with exact language. Replace vague praise with observable facts. Replace indecision with a deadline you will meet. Over time, the signal you send becomes your reputation, and reputation sends returns ahead of you like a favorable wind. Use it with discipline. Storms visit every ocean, but ships do not all arrive at the same port. Some drift until the wind decides for them. Others set the sails, check the compass, and move. The difference is not the weather. It is the will that chooses a bearing and the attitude that holds when clouds gather. Difficulty is impartial. It knocks at the doors of the prepared and unprepared, the confident and the timid. What happens next is not fate, it is the response we rehearse in quiet times and execute when the sky darkens. A problem states here are the facts. Attitude replies here is the meaning. Give a setback the meaning of finality, and you will stop. Give it the meaning of instruction, and you will start. This assignment of meaning is the fulcrum on which outcomes pivot. The same layoff becomes, for one person, a lifelong wound, for another, a catalyst that reveals skill, grit, and new connections. The facts were stable, interpretation created movement. Begin by renaming adversity. Call it curriculum. A curriculum does not flatter, it trains. It asks for attention, patience, and practice. When you treat troubles as lessons, you shift from, why me? To, what now? The first question surrenders power. The second takes it up. Power in this case is not loudness, it is direction. It turns anxiety into a list, a plan, a first step taken before doubt organizes a protest. Make a habit of quick orientation. When a problem appears, write 3 lines: the uncontested facts, the objective you still hold, and the first controllable action. Facts keep you honest. The objective keeps you on course. The action keeps you in motion. Motion is medicine. It interrupts rumination, collects feedback, and restores the sense that you are a participant rather than a spectator in your own affairs. Guard your language. Words are levers, and in pressure they lengthen or shorten your reach. Replace, always, and never with times and measures. Replace impossible with conditions. These limits. This cannot be done. With those resources, it can. Replace blame with ownership. Here is my part, and here is how I will handle it. Ownership is not self-attack. It is self-command. It places your hand back on the rudder. Expect resistance from within. The mind offers urgent invitations to quit, stall, or complain. Smile at the invitations and decline them. Create a ritual for turning toward the work, a written countdown, a glass of water, 2 deep breaths. Then begin with a piece so small it is silly to refuse. 5 minutes of order build an hour of progress. Progress builds morale. Morale changes the weather inside, even while the weather outside remains the same. Train for composure. Composure is quiet strength, and it multiplies effectiveness. Breathe lower and slower. Sit squarely. Keep your voice even when you deliver firm words. People trust steady hands in turbulent rooms. Your calm becomes a public good. It also becomes a private asset that helps you see solutions hidden by noise. Look for the opportunity side of the coin. Every difficulty carries one. A delayed project can become a chance to strengthen relationships through clear updates and honest estimates. A demanding customer can teach you precision. A limited budget can refine your priorities and expose waste you had learned to ignore. Ask, if I use this well, what advantage will it give me in 6 months? Write the answer and design the next hour around it. Use measurement. What you measure, you can improve. Create a simple scorecard for the challenge in front of you. Define 2 leading actions per day and record whether you did them. Define 1 lagging result per week and observe the trend. Numbers strip away drama. They tell you when to hold course and when to adjust the sail a few degrees. Finally, borrow courage from the future. Picture yourself after this has been handled. Wiser, calmer, more exact. Let that version of you advise the present one, do this next. Speak plainly. Keep moving. In time you will learn that trouble has not been an enemy, but a tutor making you formidable, because you chose your meaning, set your sail, and stayed your course. Routines decide more of your life than resolutions. What you repeatedly do before the world fully wakes determines the quality of what the world returns to you by nightfall. Practice is the bridge between intention and result, and the planks on that bridge are simple, visible actions you can perform today. Begin by claiming a quiet minute and setting your posture. Shoulders back, breath steady, eyes level. This is not ceremony, it is signal. You are telling your nervous system that you will direct the day instead of drifting through it. Face a reflective surface and ask 3 questions without hurry. First, what am I sending out today? Name 1 word you can live with: steadiness, goodwill, precision. Select only one. A scattered broadcast yields static. Second, what single result matters most? Write it in clear, specific language on a small card you can carry. Call the client by 2 p.m. With options, finish page 4 of the proposal, hold a calm, focused team huddle at 9:30. Third, how would the person who has already achieved this behave right now? Picture that behavior in detail. Voice measured, notes prepared, eyes on the other person when they speak. Then copy it. You are not pretending. You are practicing the standard you intend to make normal. Keep the card in your pocket and touch it often. Each touch is a retuning of the dial. When interruptions arrive, and they will, use a 90-second reset. Step away if you can, breathe lower and slower, read the card, ask 1 question. What is the next small, controllable action? Do that, then the next. Momentum created in inches covers miles by evening. Turn attitude into proof through behavior others can feel. In conversations, practice service as a method, not a mood. Let the other person finish. Reflect back what you heard in 1 sentence. Ask a clarifying question that moves things forward. Close with the next step, the owner and the time. 4 moves: listen, reflect, clarify, close, quiet friction, and create trust. Trust compounds. Doors open for the person who leaves every room a little clearer than they found it. Carry a gratitude ledger no bigger than your hand. 5 lines per day, no more. Record specifics: the colleague who sent numbers early, the cashier who smiled, the 10 quiet pages you wrote before sunrise. Gratitude is not denial of difficulty. It is recognition of fuel. You are training your mind to notice resources, allies, and progress. What you notice, you use. What you use, grows. Shape the environment so it cooperates with your aims. Lay out the first task the night before so the path, from bed to useful action, has no obstacles. Place the book you mean to read where your hand naturally rests during coffee. Keep a pen on the card so updates are a flick of the wrist, not a search through drawers. Reduce the number of decisions required to do the right thing. Friction defeated at 7 a.m. pays interest all day. Adopt small rituals that withstand pressure. A 1-minute orderliness practice. Clear the desk surface, align the current task, remove the extra. A 2-phrase discipline. Here's what we can do. Followed by, and here is when I'll report back. A 3-beat listening rhythm. Silence while they speak, summary in your words, solution in concrete steps. These habits convert good intentions into results others can test and appreciate. Use measurement to stay honest. On the back of your card, draw 2 columns: action and return. Under action, list what you sent: calm in a heated call, firmness on scope, kindness to the new hire. Under return, record what came back, a clear concession, a trimmed deadline, unexpected help. The pattern will teach you faster than opinion. When the return is poor, adjust the broadcast. When it is strong, repeat. Plan for common derailers with if-then rules. If a message arrives with heat, then wait 10 minutes and reply with facts and options. If a meeting drifts, then ask, what decision are we trying to make? If energy dips at 2 in the afternoon, then walk for 3 minutes and choose the smallest part of the next task. Decisions protect you when willpower is low. Treat speech as a tool. Trade vague praise for precise recognition. Your edit cut 2 days from the timeline. Trade complaint for a request. To hit Friday, I need the figures by noon. Trade apologies for commitments. I missed the mark. Here is the plan and the checkpoint. Words like these train both you and your partners to operate on reality rather than drama. Close the day the way you opened it. Deliberately. Review the card. Did you broadcast the word you chose? Did you achieve the single result? What will you send tomorrow? Set the tools, set the room, set the first step. Then leave it. Rest is part of practice. You are building a life in which attitude is not a poster on the wall, but a pattern in your hands, visible in the way you walk, speak, and work. The pattern, applied steadily, becomes character. And character, practiced daily, draws back from the world a faithful reflection of what you have chosen to put into it. What enters the mind leaves footprints in behavior. Let the wrong stuff track across your thoughts, and it will show up in your tone and your choices. The gatekeeper of that entrance is you. You decide what receives a pass and what is turned away. It is not about hiding from reality. It is about choosing where you become effective. Curate your inputs, and the outputs of your life become cleaner and more reliable. Begin with the people who get your time. Spend longer stretches with builders. Those who nudge you toward standards, who combine warmth with truth, who take responsibility for their work and their words. Limit exposure to wreckers, those who thrive on rumor, who laugh at discipline, who treat effort as a joke. Proximity is power, and power shared with the right companions becomes character. Adjust the information diet with the seriousness of an athlete adjusting training. Much of the noise around you is designed to alarm, addict, or divide. Swap an hour of flashing headlines for 20 pages of something lasting. Ask of every channel, is this teaching me a skill, a principle, or a perspective I can use? If the answer is no, close it. If the answer is yes, take notes and put one idea to work today. Transform complaints into questions that produce movement. When the mind begins its familiar litany, steer it gently. What is within my control right now? There is always a small lever to pull. A call to make, a tool to learn, a list to write. Action not only alters circumstances, it alters mood. The quickest way to brighten a day is to do the next useful thing where your feet are. Trade envy for execution. Envy stares at another person's harvest and forgets to plant. Execution puts seeds in the ground. Choose one small step before noon that advances your aims and finish it whether or not you feel inspired. When you stack finished steps, confidence grows from proof, not from pep talks. Let your scoreboard teach you what to repeat and what to remove. Replace hurry with priority. Hurry is unfocused motion, the jitter of an untrained compass. Priority is calm sequence, first things first, next things next. Each morning, choose 3 high-value actions that, if completed, win your day. Guard them from intrusion as a craftsman guards the sharpness of a tool. Say no with courtesy. Say yes with commitment. Time respects those who respect it. Mind the language you use because language programs expectation. Speak in terms that aim forward. Instead of, everything is a mess, say, here are the 2 points of failure and the fix. Instead of, they never listen, say, I will make the case with evidence at 3. Precision shrinks problems to workable size. Courtesy cools hot rooms. When your words are clear and constructive, people stop bracing and start helping. Practice quiet courtesies until they are second nature. Arrive a little early and bring order with you. Keep your word even when it costs time. Write the note of thanks before you ask for the next favor. Look up from the screen when someone speaks. Small gestures of respect oil the machinery of daily life and lengthen goodwill. The reputation that forms around you becomes a bridge you can cross when pressure is high. Design the room you live and work in so it strengthens the right habits. Keep the tools of learning within arm's reach. Book on the desk, pen on the card, schedule on the wall. Remove the friction that keeps you from beginning pre. Load the document, lay out the clothes, set the alarm across the room. Environment beats willpower when the day gets loud. Place reminders of your standards where you'll see them word on the wall, checklist by the door, timer on the desk daily. Finally, audit your gates weekly. Ask 3 questions. Who influenced me most, and how did I behave afterward? What did I consume that improved my competence? Where did I let noise through that I can block next week? Make one adjustment and measure the return. The mirror notices. People do too. And people, not abstractions, open most of the doors you will walk through. Consider a simple contract you make with yourself for 1 calendar page. 30 boxes. Each day you keep the contract, mark the box with a deliberate X. The contract is this. For 30 days, you will project the attitude you want life to reflect, and you will prove it with small, repeatable acts. Not mood. Proof. You will treat attitude as cause and outcomes as its natural effect. The way planting precedes harvest and striking a match precedes warmth. The page on the wall becomes a scoreboard for character. Begin each morning by setting your compass in writing. Choose one word you will broadcast. Steadiness, respect, resolve, and one result that, if achieved, makes this day worthwhile. Put that result on a card you can touch. Under it, list 3 actions that move it forward. Stand up straight, breathe lower and slower, and speak 1 sentence aloud that starts you. Today I bring clarity and finish the proposal's first section. Posture, breath, and words send a signal deeper than intention. They tell the body to cooperate. Carry the card into the stream of tasks and conversations. At midday, pause for 3 minutes and perform a correction. Ask, what did the morning teach me? Cross out what no longer matters, recommit to what does, and reduce the next step to a movement small enough to do now. A single phone call, a draft paragraph, a calendar invite. Momentum created in minutes often saves hours later. This is how you keep the rudder steady when winds shift, not with grand speeches, but with quiet adjustments and continuous aim. Make the experiment measurable with points. Award yourself 1 point for each practice you complete: the morning compass, the midday correction, the final review, 20 minutes of study, 10 minutes of order, 1 act of unsolicited help, a difficult conversation handled with calm, a written plan for tomorrow. Aim for 10 points a day. Totals tell the truth without drama. If the number dips, you do not scold, you refine. Remove a friction, simplify a step, ask for a resource. Progress has a sound of the pencil scratching a tally. Guard against the ordinary ambushes that ruin good days. Decide in advance with if-then rules. If a message arrives loaded with heat, then wait 10 minutes and reply with facts, options, and a deadline. If a meeting wanders, then ask, what decision are we here to make? If energy fades mid-afternoon, then walk for 3 minutes, drink water, and write the smallest definable next action. These simple contingencies convert impulse into discipline. They preserve the signal you meant to send when the noise rises. Invest daily in your receiver. Read a few pages of material that outlives headlines. Learn one technique that makes you more exact. Capture a sentence that improves your judgment and put it to use before sunset. Education during these 30 days is not accumulation, it is application. Knowledge that sits becomes clutter, knowledge that moves becomes competence. Competence feeds confidence, and confidence quietly raises the ceiling on what you attempt. Add one rule that changes everything: no 0 days. Even when the schedule breaks or the mood soars, do a token version of the important work. 5 push-ups, 1 paragraph, 1 outreach, 1 drawer cleaned. You are teaching yourself that action is available under any sky. Identity grows from these votes. The person who does a little when others do nothing becomes the person who does enough when it counts. Use your speech as a lever. Replace complaint with a constructive sentence that names a step and a time. Replace vague praise with precise recognition that teaches standards. Your revision removed 2 days of delay. Replace apologies with commitments. I missed the mark, I will deliver the fix by 4 p.m. And send proof. Words like these organize effort around reality. They calm rooms, and calm rooms make better decisions. Close each evening with the ledger. On one side, record the signal you sent: patience with a customer, firmness about scope, gratitude in a crowded line. On the other side, record the return: a referral, a clearer agreement, an unexpected kindness. Ask one question: what did my attitude return to me today? Write the answer in plain language. Then choose one improvement for tomorrow and set it up before you sleep. Documents open, clothes laid out, tools in place. Leaving the day ready invites the next one to cooperate. Expect lapses and plan the rebound. If you miss a box, do not miss twice. Begin again in the next hour. The chain on the wall is not a decoration, it is a training partner. Over 30 days you will notice a shift. Opportunities you once called luck reveal themselves as invitations your tuned receiver can finally hear. Obstacles shrink to the size of steps. The same streets, the same duties, the same faces. Yet the experience is different because the cause is different. You changed the broadcast, and the world, like a faithful mirror, began to change its reply. Take one last look at the pattern we have traced together. The world is not a stubborn stranger. It is a responsive instrument, waiting for the tune you choose. Attitude is the composer, behavior the notes, results the music that fills the room. You do not need permission to begin. You need a decision. Decide to be the cause, not the consequence. Decide to set the temperature, not to be the thermometer. Decide to send the signal you wish to receive. You have the tools. A morning compass on a small card. A clear word to broadcast. 3 actions that prove it. A midday correction that keeps the rudder true. A brief evening ledger that teaches faster than opinion. If then rules that protect you when the day grows loud. A gratitude practice that keeps your eyes on resources instead of shortages. Language that points forward. Courtesy that cools hot rooms. Precision that shrinks big problems to workable size. Builders for companions, durable ideas for input, calm for posture. None of this is glamorous, all of it works. Difficulties will visit, as they always do. Treat them as curriculum, not verdict. Name the facts, restate the aim, take the next controllable step. Replace, why me? With, what now? Replace blame with ownership, hurry with priority, envy with execution. Measure what matters, let numbers cut through drama. Keep your promises small and kept. Keep your standards visible and lived. Keep moving when others wait for ideal weather. Make the experiment real for 30 days. Mark the boxes. Score the practices. Refuse 0 days. When you stumble, begin again in the next hour. Watch how the same streets reveal new doors, how the same work yields better returns, how the same people respond to a steadier you. This is not luck. It is cause and effect, finally aligned. So here is the closing instruction: stand a little straighter. Breathe a little lower, choose your word, write your card, take the first small step before your courage has time to cool. Enter each conversation as a maker of clarity. Leave each room better than you found it. Tally your proof at night. Then sleep like someone who placed wood on the hearth and struck the match. Change the broadcast and the world changes its reply. Change the posture and the path straightens under your feet. Change your attitude and watch. Quietly, steadily, as your life turns to meet it.